Prickly pear. If you cut off a paddle and stick it in the ground, it'll grow into another prickly pear. See that little one over there? When I moved here, there was nothing there, just dirt. Well, a few years ago, this big prickly pear sprouted out another branch, another section, a baby paddle off by itself, climbing skyward from a root that crawled along the surface of the ground. It grew about a half a foot away from the main thrust of the plant, so it looked out of place. It wasn't out of place, but I thought it looked out of place. I believe that when a cactus sends forth an unsightly paddle into the air, the cactus knows what it's doing. In silence, it knows when and where to grow. It's the same way with trees. Why do we consider pruning a necessity? There's one thing I wish arborists would admit, and I know that they know it. Trees take care of themselves, and if they don't, they die. And that's completely fine, because maybe they go to tree heaven, where everything, in general, is really, really nice. And if they don't go to tree heaven because such a place doesn't exist, well, that's completely fine too. The guts of their woody skeletons shelter shivering rabbits and feed a million insects. Why put trees on life support? It's the same way with hunting. Some hunters fancy themselves caretakers of a delicate balance of animal populations. But would the ecosystem of the continent collapse if all the hunters stayed home? Overpopulation eventually works itself out. But it's really no use arguing this sort of thing. Agriculture and landscaping have won, just like footwear has won. Now we think it's normal and even noble to subject our plants to surgeries and to buy our vegetation from nurseries. And I'm a product of my generation. I live in a homeowners association. And so a few years ago, I thought the new growth on my big prickly pear looked out of place. And I still think that, but let's not think about all this too hard. I'm the landowner. This is my yard. I can do what I want with my own darn cactus. So I sliced that baby paddle out of the ground and carried it away over there with a pair of kitchen tongs, scooted some gravel up against it, making it stay upright. I splashed it with a cup of water and said, I don't care if you die. And now look at that prickly pear. It's alive. And it's got a couple of paddles now. I never watered it after that first time. The only water it got was from the rain. I think it looks good. I think it looks really good. What do you think? Do you like it? Whether you like the prickly pear or not, you have to respect it for hanging on through the heat of the summer, the shortage of water, the chill of winter, and a lifetime of isolation. Well, you don't have to respect it. Maybe you don't respect cactus at all. But I do believe that the thing within you that clings to life is a friend of the thing within the prickly pear that likewise clings to life. We're a lot like this little prickly pear, cut off from bigger and older versions of ourselves, planted in far-off places, and given the power and the will to survive. And for this purpose, survival, we grow thorns. And we soak up every drop of rain that falls upon us, and we let the water do its work, and we soak up every ray of sun that falls upon us, and we let the sunlight do its work. See the fruit on this prickly pear? The deep red bulbs on top, popping out from the green paddles. You can eat the fruit of a prickly pear. Not many people do, but I have twice. Once when I was a kid, we had just moved from Northern California to Southern Arizona. I didn't know what cactus was, but I went to school one day and heard the teacher say, "You can eat the fruit of a prickly pear." So I went home and told my mom, "You can eat the fruit of a prickly pear." So I went out there and whacked the fruit with a stick, and they tumbled to the ground. I put on gloves and picked up the fruit, but the stickers went through the gloves, and I got tiny stickers in the tips of my fingers. 3 hours later, my mom brought me toast, and spread on top was the prickly pear jelly. I tasted it, and she said, "Do you like it?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Good. Enjoy it, because I'm never making it again. My fingers are full of stickers." And the other time I ate prickly pear fruit was about a year ago. I got it from this prickly pear right here. It was pretty good. I don't know why I don't eat it more. I let so much of it go to waste.